Remember how we said there was no chance in hell Frenemies would ever return? Well, apparently it did.
What?
It's a mess, so let's get into it.
Exposed. 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 You're exposed. You're exposed. You are exposed. Exposed, 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 exposed. You are exposed, sir. I'm going to expose you. Expose you. Oh my God, expose you.
So, I swear this Frenemies drama has been going on for what feels like 2 months now. After hours and hours of videos, the tweets, TikToks, and tons of family drama, we finally got some kind of a conclusion. Trisha apologized to Ethan on camera, and Ethan didn't fully accept it. It wasn't like a happily ever after type of ending. It was more of a let's keep the peace online so we don't destroy the family type of ending. Things have been pretty quiet between Ethan and Trisha, and most people just assumed they were trying to work it out privately. They already lost an amazing podcast, and all that was really left was their relationship and their blended family. Then Frenemies merch launched, and that day was really interesting. Despite Frenemies being over, the merch was selling out really, really fast. Everyone was waiting to see if Trisha would actually promote the merch, and they did. Trisha tweeted, "Frenemies merch was almost all sold out. I ordered what I could get. Love being part of the dumpster fire that it was." After Trisha did their little Twitter promotion for the merch, they posted a video to YouTube that I'm pretty sure no one was expecting. It was titled, "We filmed a new Frenemies this week, but it won't air." Like, what? I was shocked because we all remember a few weeks ago, Ethan said 100% a last episode would not be happening. If I'm honest, I thought it was just clickbait so Trisha could help promote the Frenemies merch. But turns out, it's not. Trisha started off the video kind of emotional. They had just tuned into Ethan's live stream where he was promoting the merch with Ela, and I kind of feel like in that moment, Trisha realized just how much of a good thing they actually ruined. Trisha says they actually sat down to film a final episode of Frenemies, and it was supposed to air last week, but apparently Ethan changed his mind. Trisha said Ethan asked them to come film a final episode of Frenemies just to kind of promote the merch, and they thought it turned out really good. But for some reason, Ethan didn't want it posted. Trisha said filming the final episode felt like such a relief because they were able to talk things out on camera, and Ethan actually apologized to Trisha. Apparently the episode got a little bit heated, but in the end, Trisha got the apology they were looking for, and Ethan even admitted where he was wrong. Now, Trisha was like very clearly frustrated that Ethan chose not to air this episode. They said maybe Ethan doesn't want to air it because he'll get hate for bringing them back on, or maybe it was because he didn't want people to know that he apparently did something wrong. And I mean, Ethan's probably right for not wanting to air that episode. After everything that Trisha said and did, I feel like if Ethan did get on camera with Trisha to admit that he did something wrong, his viewers would probably be like, "What are you doing?" Trisha said during the episode, they went through all their messages and nowhere could Ethan find where Trisha specifically said, "I want the crew fired." And Trisha felt really good that Ethan was wrong about that. But I mean, he wasn't really wrong. We all know Trisha didn't say word for word, "fire the crew," but everything that was implied pretty much equaled to firing the crew. Saying you aren't comfortable with them, wanting to hire your family, wanting to hire a new cameraman and producer, that right there is saying please fire the crew without directly saying it. Now here's the crazy part. Trisha admitted to recording the final episode of Frenemies as it was being filmed so they could have it to listen back to and for proof. Trisha said sometimes people like to edit things out and they just wanted to have a copy for themselves. Now, I don't know if Ethan knew that they were recording that episode or what, but to me, that seems a little bit weird and a little bit untrusting. You really don't trust your brother-in-law that much that you had to record the episode just in case he edited the context out. Seems pretty untrusting to me. Trisha said they feel like Ethan doesn't want to drop the episode because it ends up showing some wrongdoing on his part. Trisha wants Ethan to at least clear what Trisha wanted cleared about them publicly if he's not going to drop the episode. Apparently the internet has a completely different narrative from what actually happened and from what was cleared up on the last episode. The thing is though, we've literally heard Trisha's side. Trisha posted hours worth of content on YouTube telling their side of the situation, and most people either sat through the videos or got a recap somewhere else. We all know Trisha's side, but people's opinion still stands. Someone in the comments of Trisha's video actually said, "We saw the whole thing. It's like she thinks we only saw his side. We saw her 20 videos about it and the actual episode, and we still don't think you're right. Trisha also said they went on not one, but multiple podcasts last week before and after the filming of the last Frenemies to talk about Frenemies. Apparently, every podcast Trisha did is going to be all over the place and gets pretty heated sometimes when they bring up Ethan and Frenemies. I'm just wondering if all these podcasts were filmed after Trisha's big apology video to Ethan. I mean, what's the point of apologizing to someone and then going on podcast after podcast to talk about it? I get the feeling Trisha just really wants this episode posted because they so desperately want to be right and show everyone that Ethan was apparently wrong and had to apologize. Even the fact that Ethan said he didn't want to air the episode, and then Trisha uploads a video titled, "We filmed the last Frenemies, but it won't air." Like, of course people are going to start pressuring Ethan to post the episode. I feel like once again, that's breaking Ethan's trust. Could you imagine being friends with someone and having to worry about them making 40-minute videos every time you guys have a disagreement? Trisha ended up saying Frenemies is 100% done, especially after filming that final episode and then it not even airing. Apparently to Trisha, that made Frenemies lose all its realness and authenticity. Then Trisha posted the mukbang they did after filming Frenemies, and they said they feel good, not great, but at least they got an apology from Ethan. They still feel like there's some kind of resentment because it only happened a few weeks ago, but said overall the whole thing is just really sad and really sucks. Right now, Trisha's video has over 16,000 dislikes, and the comments aren't that good either. This video shows exactly why he shouldn't post it. You want to use it as leverage. He's obeying fans by not posting this podcast. To be honest, no one wants it. You insinuating that he doesn't want to release a podcast because he doesn't want to own up to anything is exactly why being your friend is dangerous. Anyways, one of those podcasts Trisha was talking about came out today, and it was Trisha's episode with the Trash Tuesday podcast. This is one of the podcasts that was filmed pre-final episode of Frenemies, so Trisha still had some negative feelings towards Ethan. Trisha was asked on a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being no chance of returning and 10 being 100% Frenemies would happen again, where does Trisha stand? Trisha said if you had to ask them the day prior, they probably would have been a 10. They would 100% do Frenemies again. Trisha said now it's a 0.5 because Ethan apparently said the whole family hates them. Trisha explained how Ethan asked them to come back on the podcast and do a final episode, but Trisha was a bit skeptical about that. They felt like Ethan might try and trick them into saying something or edit it a certain way, which is why I guess Trisha recorded the whole episode. Trisha said at first they wanted to film a final Frenemies, but then Families aired and Ethan's parents were talking about their weight and calling them toxic, so they had second thoughts about filming a final episode. Of course, now we know a final episode did happen, but now the question is, will we ever see it? Or like, do we even want to see it? A lot of people think if Ethan posts it, his fans are going to be really upset with him, and Trisha will just use the apology they got from Ethan as leverage in any future fights. I almost wonder if Ethan got Trisha back on to record a final episode as a way of just talking things out, and he never had any intentions on ever posting it. Maybe that was just a smart way to work their problems out in a familiar setting. If Trisha and Ethan did work things out and Trisha got the apology they wanted, I don't know why it has to be made public for it to be valid, which is why a lot of people think Trisha has ulterior motives for this episode to air. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up button because it really does help my channel, and I'll see you next time.